My name is Boris Malyugin. I'm from Moscow, Russia, and I'm practicing in Fedorov Microsurgery Complex, which is a huge institution, by the way, with 10 affiliations all over Russia. So we have about 5,000 employees, 1,000 of them are doctors and the others are supporting staff. I think there is still a demand to understand the biomechanics of how you best manage the Malyugin Ring. And there are two versions, by the way. The first one, which is more stiffer, and it's quite easy to implant into the eye with the appropriate injector. And because of the stiffness, it's usually easy to catch all three scrolls at the very beginning of the implantation. And you need to manipulate on the last one into the place, which is a little bit different biomechanically with the second generation because it's more pliable. Pliability is a good feature because it gives you additional protection to the iris. At the same time, it's more flexible. That's why you need a little bit more manipulation. It's not so easy to engage all three scrolls at the very beginning. So you either inject a little bit of visco behind the iris to lift it up to make this step easier, or don't go for all three at the very beginning, but insert one scroll with injector and the others one by one. It's a quite straightforward procedure. And the other important thing to be mentioned is the pupil is very small at the very beginning. It's fibrotic, it's small, like 3 millimeter. So it's better not to go with the ring from the very beginning, because it's better to stretch a little bit the pupil, make the size somewhere around 4 millimeters, and that's make the implantation much easier and straightforward. I personally like to use Malyugin Ring with femto, and there are two situations that may happen. First, when the pupil is small at the very beginning, so I inject the second generation, which I like more because it goes through sub 2 millimeter incision, and I do not do at that moment any additional paracentesis. I just do one incision, insert the ring, leave dispersive viscoelastic in the anterior chamber, close the wound with the single 10-0 nylon suture, and then go for the laser. After lasering the capsule and the nucleus, I usually don't do incisions. I go back to the operation site and then do the surgery as it is always, as we do it regularly. The other situation is when you see that the pupil is constricting, so then you need to inject the ring somewhere in the middle of nucleus removal or cortical aspiration. And that's a little bit more tricky because with the open capsule, it can be easily catching the anterior capsular rhexis. So you have to watch carefully not to engage the rhexis together with the iris. And for that, you need to lift a little bit the iris above the plane of the capsular rhexis. And then you need to be sure that there is no engagement by moving the ring to the left, to the right, up and down. And if it's floating freely in the chamber, you're pretty much sure that it's okay. So these are small tricks to follow in these cases. Small pupil is not only a geometrical issue for the surgeon, which is very important because we need the good pupil size to go on and access the nucleus, but it's also the indicator of different comorbidities such as pseudoexfoliative syndrome. And with the pseudoexfoliative syndrome, we do have zonular weakness, which is one of the challenges. So the combination of the Malyugin Ring and MST capsule retractors is a great addition to my surgical armamentarium. So I insert the ring, do capsular rhexis, and then make 3 additional paracenteses and insert these capsule retractors to support the zonules that are weak, and it's very useful technique for severe zonular weakness.